talk about how fucking crazy it is, like meeting people who watch your videos? It's so fucking surreal. How fucking weird is that?
I never get used to it.
It's so
like,
fucking
I'm like, now I have like a conditioned response that I could be like, okay, this is how I should respond to like fans.
Activating execution 101.
But that's why
Activate McDonald's smile.
But that's why getting recognized anywhere but conventions, you're so unprepared for it because you just never get used to that feeling. Because I'm just like, man, I'm just a fucking dude who talks about anime online.
Man, I mean, it's already surprising when people at conventions like come up to you and recognize you. Yeah. But what's weirder is where you're like nowhere near a fucking convention, and it's just like a random like guy or girl who's just sees you, like that fucking dude in Singapore.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Do you want to tell that story?
Yeah, you can tell it.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so we were at a Singapore convention. I think it was anime. What was it called? Anime Festival Asia or something like that. AFA. We were at AFA Singapore, and we were in this. We were outside the convention. We're like getting lunch or something. It was me, Sydney, and Joey, I believe.
And Alan, I think.
And Alan, yes. So there were 4 of us there, and we were just walking in just like this random shopping mall. And then we just hear this screech. This is like the loudest screech I've ever heard in my life.
It was like a banshee screech. Like you would have thought like someone came through with like a truck and was like running people over. It was that
exactly.
Loud.
And it immediately triggered my fight or flight like instincts, right?
Everybody turned around and was like, what the fuck?
What the fuck's going on? And all we see is this fucking kid bolting it towards Joey, right? And I'm like, time just fucking stopped at that moment. I'm like, am I about to witness my fucking friend die in front of my eyes? Is he about to get stabbed or something?
He's like, the dude was like full on like Assassin's Creeding me, like just fucking like low as fuck like this, just like running towards me through this giant crowd. And as the crowd is parting, you can see this kid just coming straight. I'm like, oh, he's coming for me. I'm gonna die. Like because he's like Naruto running almost. I can't see his hands right, so I'm like, this guy's probably got a knife or something. Like he's about to stab me.
Yeah.
So I'm just prepared to die. He stops like right here. He just screeches to a halt and he says, "I love you, Joey." Like, meanwhile, poop is falling out of my pants. Right?
Meanwhile, we're just like, oh, okay, Joey's not dead. Okay.
Jesus, fucking terrifying.
And he's like,
terrifying.
"Can you take a photo with me?" I'm like,
Yeah. Did like Felix say one time, like Southeast Asian fans like the craziest?
Yeah,
like,
they are.
In public, they just scream.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the Southeast Asian fans.
AFA was great. It's on like a whole different level from like any convention we've been to in America. Like I remember watching Joey walk from one panel to another. It was basically like watching Justin Bieber walk through like
Dude, that's got to be an ego boost though.
I mean, it felt pretty good. Not gonna lie.
I love it when you're just like chilling and then like someone in the line next to you's like, "Oh, you Joey?"
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah.
I think as well, like it might have been because like that Singapore AFA was a first for that convention for a lot of reasons, because I think I was like the first YouTuber that had ever been invited.
Yeah.
And also I was the first ever guest at that convention that didn't charge for signatures.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And like because like I remember when I was sitting there like waiting, the staff was like, "All right, so tell me how much do the signings cost?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, how much does it cost? Like $5, $10? How much is it? So that I can tell people in the line. I'm like, it's free. And like,
they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, he was like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's free?
They couldn't process
They
it.
couldn't process it. They was like, what do you mean it's free? I'm like, it's
Yeah.
fucking free.
I've heard like some other guests get annoyed when YouTubers turn up and don't charge because they're like, well, you're just devaluing, you're making us look like ripoffs. And I'm like, well, I mean, you're just like signing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
if I'm selling something like a print or something that like that, you know,
but that's the thing, right? I was selling prints because I was doing a collab with like Key Studios, right? So it's like people can just fucking buy this.
Yeah, I feel like if they like, I shouldn't charge someone to sign something. They already paid the entrance fee to get in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. And they're like already buying like the merch that I collab with, right? So it's like I'm not gonna charge them anymore.
Yeah, when you see these like fucking like it's like the guy who sneezed on set on Star Wars charged $50 for a signature, and it's like what do you mean?
I was Stormtrooper number 1,300.
It's like who the fuck are you? I really disagree with them doing that, and they charge so much. I really hate it. Like I think it's so conceited.
Like give them something physical, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Like this should be like an item.
My signature should not be worth money.
No,
I don't know. It should be like a nice little memorabilia.
Yeah.
But I don't know anyone who.
I think it completely destroys the meaning of a signature, right? Like from a famous person, in my opinion.
I don't know. I just feel bad charging people
me too.
for my
I feel like I'm
signature.
ripping someone off. I'm like the greatest fucking
like the worst I would get away with is charging. I haven't even like charged for prints or anything like that because I've never done prints, but or like
it's a pain to sort out.
Yeah, it's a pain to sort out, but at least give them something physical.
Right.
Is what I say.
Exactly.
If we need to do something like that.
Right. But again, like we're doing well enough for ourselves. Like I'm not that fucking desperate to be like I have 500 prints.
Yeah,
they all need to go.
I guess just sometimes the conventions can't really like pay you much for your time, so it's like I get it that some people want to get some prints in there, get a little income going.
But like that's not really the reason I go to conventions.
No,
right?
True.
It's like, I just want to fucking meet my fans.
Yeah. Anyway, any conventions in Southeast Asia want to invite us? We're
any conventions in general, please.
Any conventions in general, we're
fucking
always
love
open.
Conventions so much.
Yeah.
I miss it.
We miss it so much.
After this fucking drought of conventions, we really need to fucking go to some.